First, a would-be minister blames the devil for his baby girl's third-degree microwave burns, and mom backs him up.
A Galveston, Texas hotel becomes a horrific scene of abuse for a newborn baby girl. It starts when her dad says he becomes agitated, his wife unloading their luggage from the car, the baby crying. 19-year-old Joshua Malden picks up 2-month-old Ava Marie, throws her onto the beds, punches her in the groin, then puts her in the hotel room safe. Next, the refrigerator, and finally the microwave, turning it on. The baby girl suffers third-degree burns to her face and left arm. Malden changing his story several times, finally confessing to the string of abuse. His wife blames the devil, saying her husband is under demonic possession.
Right now, straight out to Scott Williams with the Galveston County Daily News. Scott, it's incredible to me that tonight, faced with her daughter's third-degree burns, she, the mom, is standing by the dad. What's going on and what happened in court? There was a mediation, correct?
There was a mediation yesterday at the end of which the mother, Eva Malden, agreed to a temporary custody order whereby Child Protective Services of Texas would take custody of the injured child, Anna Malden. Anna has been in the care of foster parents since Monday when she was discharged from Shriners Burns Hospital in Galveston.
Joining us tonight is a special guest, Sergeant Annie Almendarez. She is with the Galveston Police Department, head of the Juvenile Crimes Unit. Sergeant, thank you for being with us. I don't understand. A mediation, they allowed the parents to mediate as to whether they could get the little girl back. Why should they get the girl back?
Well, ma'am, in the state of Texas with CPS, their thing is to keep the family together, and that is their right, per se, as parents, to try to keep their family together and get the child back. And yes, in my opinion, no, she does not need to go back to her parents, but that's their right, living in America, to get your child back.
You know, I'm a little confused about this, Susan Moss. You're a family law attorney and child advocate. The little girl, the father, gives 3 or 4 cockamamie stories. They're all in conflict with each other. I'll go through those with you in a moment, Susan. But now the mom is standing by him. And Susan, this is after a string prior domestic incidents where the wife gets beaten and she says, oh, but you know what, I was pregnant and he didn't hit me in the stomach, like he should get a gold star for that. I really shouldn't have called police when he beat me. It was really my fault. Now she wants him to get the baby back in his hands after he put her in the frickin' microwave?
The mom has showed such an outstanding and profoundly horrific understanding about what has happened in this case that she should never have custody. Either she had no indication of what the father was capable of doing, in which case she should be shouting from the rooftops that this man never see her child again, or she did have an indication of what this man can do, in which case, if she left this child with this man, she's guilty of neglect. Regardless, neither of these parents should have custody of this child, and it's questionable whether their parental rights should be terminated in full.
What's incredible to me, the mom says she's going to fight to keep the baby and to get the husband out of jail so they can be a family again, with one of them in the microwave. Take a listen to this.
It was inside this hotel room behind door 518 where police say the unimaginable happened. Last Thursday, 19-year-old Joshua Malden was alone with his 2-month-old baby girl when he called for help.
The father called down here, asked us to call 911, claimed that the child had a bad sunburn and was bleeding.
Malden later told police he accidentally spilled boiling water on the baby, but then his story changed. A tip then led investigators to the hotel room's microwave, much like this one, where they discovered the baby had been placed inside. Malden later confessed, saying stress had led him to burn his own child.
Out to you, Bethany Marshall. We're just trial lawyers. We need a shrink. With psychoanalyst and author Dr. Bethany Marshall. Stress. Why is it in so many cases, Bethany, when people get stressed out, they take it out on their children or someone who is less powerful or less cunning than themselves. Why don't they take it out on themselves? Why on a 2-month-old baby girl? First he beat her in the groin area after throwing her on the bed. Then he puts her in the hotel refrigerator. Then he puts her in the hotel safe, shutting the door. Can you imagine how scary that would be to a little baby? Then puts her in the microwave.